used to be in the domestic court, like your protection order, domestic violence, harassment court. That way I used to be a lot, and seeing couples fighting, and I have to be at the center of everything, hearing evidence, hearing there are kids that are suffering. I need to make court orders.
You need to be very objective.
Yeah, sometimes I need to issue warrant of arrest for people. Sometimes I need to detain somebody.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sagwadiwa Karabutla, and welcome to the very first episode of Legal PodcastSA. Today, I'm in conversation with a man that I have struggled the whole month to try and find ways to introduce him, because he has been a former magistrate, he has been an attorney, and now a practicing advocate. That's a very, very big profile that I could not put into words. I give you today Advocate Masia. Please introduce yourself to the crowd.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right. But you've already said my name, so I don't know, what should I say?
Well, I would like for you to just introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are, in short, where you hail from, where you grew up, because now we want to know the background of this giant.
Yeah. All right. No, thank you for having me today.
You're very welcome.
My name is dieselmasia, right?
Yes.
But so that's my identity name.
Okay.
Identity name, payroll, bank name, and all financial names. But I've got a brand that is basically linked to that, and that happens to be Shongi. So on social media, I'll say it's Shongi Michael. Mm-hmm. So Shongi, it's my childhood name. Mommy gave me that name when I was young.
Mommy's boy.
Yeah. So I didn't like the name though. So but now I'm falling more in love with it. And then so on social media, I'll say Shongi Michael. So Michael, it's my dad's first name. Okay. He passed away somewhere around about 2020. So I actually missed him a lot. And so I needed, something to just remind me of him a lot. So hence I had to put Shongi Michael. But yeah, it's Advocate dieselmasia. So I'm a practicing advocate in Pretoria.
Okay.
But I've got my chambers in Midrand. So so that's all the way from Tzanini, Limpopo province.
So tell me, where did you grow up in Tzanini? Was it is it a village? Is it because I'm also from Tzanini, right? Usually we always think all these people who make it, or all these people who are so big, they come from all these fancy places. So I just want to know, where is it, or I just want to find out, where is it that you grew up?
All right, so in Tzanini, I grew up in, I'm sure you know Litava Estate, ne?
Yeah,
there's a big, huge farm, orange farm producing farm in Litava Estate. Some of them call it Shizumba or something like that.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up. Mom used to work there in one of the shops. It was like a butchery. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't really so bad, though being a farm, but we were more like a little bit privileged kind of kids a bit, because there were like various sections where people were staying there. So I mean, as I was growing up, I think we're staying in a 6-bedroom house, like literally. So that's when I grew up, and I attended my primary school there from standard A, ne? Until grade 10. Then I had to move to Hudson Zangwesi in Gongoa. So it was a bit challenging because we used to walk a bit. It was like far. I mean, I'm talking about how many kilometers? Come on,
day?
20
a day going,
80 going and coming back. So it was a bit far. So that's the place where I grew up. It was a beautiful place, and interesting. Or should I say interesting or not interesting? I happen to be one of the few kids that were grown up into that place, and somehow made it in life, academically and professionally. So, because I think I'm the second lawyer to be produced from that farm.
Oh, so you're a farm boy.
Yeah, you can say that for the rest of my life. I mean, by 2003, that's when we basically left the farm and we shifted to roundabout Malamlele in any other place. But that's basically where I grew up my whole life. Yeah,
that's good. So tell me, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Now today I know it. That's good to find out. So tell me, how do we then get to a point where you decide that, no, after my matric, I am going into the legal field?
I think when I was in grade 10 or grade 9, grade 8, somehow I wanted to be a doctor. I think one day I wanted to be a doctor, and then the next day I wanted to be a lawyer or so. But then I've always been a smart student. All right.
Okay. I'll give you that.
English speaking only student in that whole school. I think that's how audacious I was at the time when I was growing up. So I said to myself, and I think the fact that we're staying in a farm, to some extent, we regarded ourselves as being poor. But I mean, I wasn't. I mean, mom was buying me. You remember the Pirka Dean brand, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to wear that as far as primary school is concerned. Your Roberto Baggio.
Okay, that one I don't know. It's
Yeah,
Percadine, I know it.
it's some fancy, we had BG shops. You remember BG and your sales house and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where they used to buy. So the whole thing was, okay, because we're coming from a farm, I think I need to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Because it'll brand my family very well. And I think I kept that going. I know I had aspirations to work on TV and radio, but I didn't really pursue it. But the me becoming a lawyer thing, it came handy. But I didn't know how that was going to happen because there was no resources, so to say, and we didn't really have so much motivation to say you could move from the Letaba Estate to going to university. I mean, the first time when I had my student card from University of Venda, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait.
You were shocked?
Yeah, no, I had to look at it like, am I doing first year of LLB degree? It was way strange. And sometimes when I go to Tzaneen, I do visit the area. Yeah, I do. And to see some of my old classmates, who some of them look very old. Like if you put them here and you put me here, you wouldn't really say we grew up together. But I think that's where the motivation to be a lawyer, kinda grew up from. But I took a gap year after my matric, which was in 2004. So 2005, I took a gap year. Then I didn't go to school or anything. Just still looking for funds. And 2006 until 2009, that's when I went to varsity, and passed on record time. Yeah, school was interesting at the time because I think I was one of the best students, maybe best 5 students in class.
Top 5.
Yeah, no. First year it was amazing. I think the advantage of having to speak English so early and coming from a rural farm kind of environment kind of gave me a bit of an advantage.
You developed yourself that way.
Yeah, I mean, I knew everything. During my first year, I basically knew everything that the lecturer was teaching us about. I was so audacious about learning. I remember when we would formulate groups in class, I would always have people queuing up for me. It's like, yeah, we want to be part of, Shongi's live or Diesel's live. So, yeah, it was like that. But then, varsity was interesting, and he did on record and yeah, that was that.
Did we hit it on Kamlo?
Not really. I've had few distinctions. I've had few distinctions, of course. But I think I got distracted a little bit when I was in varsity because, I was more into church when I was in varsity. So I joined one of the churches there, and all they wanted us to be a church, Christ Embassy, ne? Yeah, Pastor Chris Church. So they just wanted us to be in church most of the time. So, but I remain the bright student.
Yeah, evidently you remained one.
I did.
So let's move fast forward. Let's now we've been to the University of Venda.
Yeah.
We've done very well being part of the top 5.
Yeah.
What happens? This is the interesting part of me wanting to see you today. What happens after that? You have come from a background where you are not privileged. You don't have connection. We need connection. You did not have. So now I want you to take me through how you go from graduation to landing your articles. What happened? How did you get them?
Yeah, look, from University of Venda, then I went to the law school in Polokwane, School for Legal Practice.
Okay.
But then before that, I applied to the bar because I wanted to be an advocate at an early age. I've always wanted to be one. But I mean, it took me 10 years or 9 years for me to be an advocate. And so I went to the school for legal practice in Polokwane. That was in 2010 during World Cup, by the way. So yeah, I did law school for I think it was like 6 months or so, and then I was one of the best students. I think I was a top 5 as well at the law school.
You're so passionate.
Yeah. No, I've always been brilliant. So there's one of my friend. He's a law firm and he's a shareholder in Law Street Chart. Mr. Mtibuli, still young. He was the brightest student in class. Wow. So him and I were friends. Were staying together at the law school as well. So I was a top 5, and then I landed myself articles in Polokwane
without collection.
No, I think they took our results to some of the best. I think there were law firms that were looking for candidate attorneys. Okay. Yeah, and my name was recommended. And what's the name? You know, I'm not sure you know Miss Khatla attorneys.
No.
Yeah, so I landed myself articles with Khatla attorneys, but I never lasted. 3 weeks was enough for me to work in that. It was hectic.
What happened?
It was hectic. So, it was hectic. It was hectic.
What happened?
Hectic.
How was it? What happened?
Mean,
briefly,
we're not given more like inductions, you know, into what we're doing. I mean, first thing when I was there, I think I needed to go and do taxation.
Immediately?
Yeah, like on the
no
same
coaching,
day.
nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing. Taxation on the very same day.
But you are from top 5. Maybe you were expected to just perform immediately.
Yeah, no, it was another different story. So, and it couldn't work. It really couldn't. What happened? I think I just resigned and I left. Yeah, I've always regarded myself as being smart. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to be remote controlled. I mean, even to this date, I don't like to be remote controlled so much, you know, because I think so. I'm smart. I can follow instructions. But sure, those articles were tough, Were tough. And everybody at the time were like, where are you saving articles? And we mentioned like, we're saving articles. Said like, yes, that law firm, it's really, really, really hectic, you know. But, and so 3 weeks I worked. Uh-huh. And then I landed articles again in Gauteng province. That was in Bronkhortspruit. Then I joined one of the firms there. My boss was Indian at the time. Very hectic as well. I think that's when I happened to learn a lot of stuff. But I also didn't last because I think I served for 6 months or 7 months or 8. And then I seeding articles to another law firm.
I think you are the problem.
Yeah. Not really.
No, everybody's looking for articles.
Look, there's a lot of mentorship that I think law students or candidate attorneys are looking for. And the challenge is some of them are not given proper induction. You see, I'll give an example about letter writing. Letter writing is one of the most important things you can ever do as a candidate attorney. Just learn to write a letter, to say to relate an instructions in a letter. Say the above matter refers, blah 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 blah. It's a job. It's a job. You're given a file and they say, please write a letter to a client and say blah blah blah. And you've never literally written the above. You know, as lawyers, the words the above matter refers is the most important part of a letter writing, or we refer to the above matter and our telephonic conversation dated so and so. You know, when you have to relay that little, so it becomes a bit difficult. But yeah, I served with this law firm in Bronkhortspruit as well. The law firm that I was serving in there, people would feel pity for you, like, what? Why are you serving? Yeah, no, it was hectic. Then I jumped ship. Then I joined one of the firms. This one I would even mention, it's called Muhlolo Mashego Attorneys. Mm-hmm. Mr. Mashego was so friendly. He didn't even monitor us.
Where was that?
It's in Bronkhortspruit, all of them. So I moved from this law firm.
Yeah, from Polokwane. How do you land the one in Bronkhortspruit? Because now friends. What I'm interested in is the how. Because a lot of us, we are stuck with for example, me, there's no lawyer at my house that I know. So there's me. So I want to know how do you do it?
So remember the Polokwane firm, with Khatla Incorporated, I didn't apply.
Yes.
The Legal Practice Council
recommended because of performance.
Yeah, School for Legal Practice recommended me. Then, when I was there, things got hectic. So I called one of my friend. He's now a state advocate in Polokwane now, Advocate Livisi.
Okay.
We're best buddies. So like, yeah, there's a certain law firm are looking for articles in Bronkhorstspruit. Please, you can come through. You can come stay with me. And then I left. Like I resigned. Like I
went there.
Yeah, I went there, and then I got paid my little salary. I think it was like 4,000 rand. Then I went in and I joined the law firm. I just came in, no interview, no nothing, and then I started with the law firm. Yeah.
And then fast forward, you move from that one, you go to the new one.
Yeah, and I went to the third law firm.
This is not the final one.
No,
it's the third one.
It's the third law firm.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mashiho was very amazing. He wouldn't remote control us. No, you have to do your work there, and yeah. So I served with him until when I finished serving my articles. At the same time, I was writing my board exam, and then I passed. But I didn't pass my board exam at once. I think I passed the three courses at once, and then I was left with bookkeeping, which I was very good at the law school, and I don't know why I failed when I wrote it initially.
Sounds like accounting.
So that's accounting. No, it's easy. It's simple. It's really, really easy. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So then I wrote it for the second time, and then I passed. We had Buputatswana Law Society. I'm not sure you remember. So we had a Law Society of the Northern Provinces. We had Buputatswana Law Society. We had Venda Law Society. So I wrote that Law Society of the Northern Provinces, and then there were stories about it, like politics about Law Society of the Northern Provinces. Then I went and I wrote in a Law Society of Buputatswana, and then I passed.
Okay.
Then 2013, then I got admitted as an attorney.
And this third firm?
I think so when I finished serving with my Mashego attorneys, I got an opportunity to go work for Masepule Dinga commercial attorneys and / Bowman Gilflin. You know the big five in Sandton?
Yes.
Yeah, so Masepule Dinga was more like a commercial law firm. And then for the first 3 months, they sent me to Bowman Gilflin. Okay. Where I was involved in the construction department, legal construction department. We're dealing with your Kusile power station, the whole contracting that was happening in Kusile. So
it was handled by you guys.
We are in that team as candidate attorneys. So then I worked for 3 months in Sandton with Bowman Gilflin. Then I went back to Masepule Dinga for a year. And then 2013, 28th of February, then I resigned from Masepule Dinga.
Why?
I now gotten to know a lot about myself. Like I was now a public speaker. I was like now a life coach. I was all over there. I was so interested in entrepreneurship and personal development a lot. So it kind of made me feel like a boss a little bit. So I think I was getting to
you saw your leadership skills.
Yeah. So and I took off. I resigned, left, and there was just nothing on me. And then before I resigned, I wasn't yet admitted, but I already finished my articles. So I resigned, I think in April, then I got admitted as an attorney. Then I was like, oh, okay, I'm an attorney. Oh, okay, motivational speaker, life coach, so it was interesting. Then what do I do?
You open your own law firm.
I'm not so much of an employee. I know I have not been so much of an employee. And now I had to go and start a law firm. Guess what? I didn't know how to run a law firm. I didn't know.
So you just learned it as you went?
Yeah, I learned it as I went. It was rough. It was hectic. It was crazy. So, because I was now in Pretoria, a friend of mine says, hey, you can come stay with me in Orchard. I'm like, oh, okay. Victor, you know Victor, right? Sishok.
Yeah.
So Sishoka took me, it's like, come stay with me. And then I went, stay with him. And he's like, yeah, you can apply for jobs, this and that. I would look at the newspapers. I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to do this. Yeah. But then, so then I went and I registered my law firm. Then I'm like, no, I'm tired of Pretoria. Let me go to Joburg because Joburg has money. I don't know where I got this thing that Joburg has money. Then I left and I went to Joburg. And yeah, Joburg was amazing. I used to do criminal law in Hillbrow Magistrate Court a lot. Bail applications, Hillbrow, Uval, and Norwood, a bit of Alexander,
Okay.
But then I had a lot. Jeez.
There was a lot of criminal cases.
Yeah, but even me, I had a lot of stuff that I was doing and managing. I was so hectic. I was so busy.
Did you not have a secretary?
Now, as a one man, I'm running my own. I mean, I will be on radio. I'll be on TV. I will be doing motivational speaking. The next thing, I'm a lawyer. The next thing, there's a pastor in me. There was a lot
that you were doing. Stuff. So, as I did a little bit of research, I found that we had dieselmasia commercial attorneys.
Yeah.
What is a commercial attorney?
All right. So a commercial. So my name, dieselmasia commercial attorneys, was formulated for two reasons. One, it was for branding purposes.
Okay.
The law firm where I was coming from, Masia commercial attorneys, used to attract a lot of government contracts a lot because the firm was pretty much branded for quite a while. Look, but I think if you compare black practitioners, and not in a bad way, but if you compare black practitioners and the elites, white practitioners a lot,
yes,
we were not branding and such accessories were not afforded to us for quite a while. So if you come up as a black lawyer and you understand the concept of branding and drafting of proposals and stuff like that, marketing as well, it'll basically put your head. So that's why my firm was called dieselmasia commercial attorneys. So commercial firm, we used to do a lot of contracts. I did a lot of contracts drafting at the time.
Okay.
There was a lot of look, I had to incorporate my law firm with my personality because I was a sole practitioner. So my law firm was basically surrounded around me, being an entrepreneur, and I had to come out of my skin to say, no, I'm not a lawyer, I'm an entrepreneur. So it basically made me kind of like think way very differently from the rest. And I ran that law firm, made money, blew money, and made. It was hectic. So from 2013...
But it worked. It was working.
I did. Great opportunities. 2013 and 14, 15, 16, 17. Pushing the whole stuff on my own.
So did you now have, remember you left your job, so
yes.
You had a little bit of money, of course. Did you open an office? Did you start from?
There was no money. When I resigned.
You had no money.
I had my 5,000 rand. I started my law firm with my laptop.
Okay.
I started my law firm with my laptop.
You didn't rent a place?
I didn't rent a place. So Victor's place where I was staying in Orchards in Pretoria, North,
yes,
that was my office.
Oh.
Then, I got one client in Hammarskraal. They kind of paid me like 15,000 rand. My first client. So it was one mummy that loved me a lot. She would give me instructions like, come and look at our policies, because she was running an ECD, like a crash.
Okay.
They had a lot of funding from government, so I'll review their policies and draft disciplinary hearing policies, and a whole lot of stuff. So then I got paid from that, and until when I went to Joburg now to do criminal law, and Joburg was really good. So I did criminal law until where I said, no, I can no longer take it anymore. Let me now start focusing on civil litigation. So I think that was in 2015. 16, 17, 18. So I used to do high court appearances. I was no longer brief advocate because I'm thinking politics again. I'm thinking I'm going to pay somebody like 40,000 rand, but me too, I can do the whole thing, But because my clients were pretty much, they were not so much rich. So I had to balance, the whole issues of cash that they had.
Okay.
So, now I get a client, they give me 30,000 rand, an advocate wants 40, and what am I going to do? So I had to learn on my feet until I started doing high court litigations, your unlawful arrest and detentions, and I practiced that until lockdown.
Okay, yeah.
And then 2021, I never dreamt of being a magistrate.
Okay, before we get to magistrate, tell me, when you said lockdown happened, when you said you moved to Joburg, did you open an office?
Yeah, so Joburg, I had an office in Marshalltown. I had an office in Marshalltown. I had a...
You're properly lawyering.
Yeah, no, I had an office. I had a secretary. I also had an assistant, messenger. And so I used to stay next to my office.
Okay.
I would come up with one door enter the other door, it's my apartment. So I would leave the office run. It was beautiful. And
was nice.
I think I was doing good. I was doing good. I mean, like the account has 30, 40,000 rand, 50 there and there.
Can I be you now?
No, not anymore. It was good at the time. So I ran a proper office.
Okay. So now we go to lockdown, where now this magistrate thing comes up. Tell me, how do we get to Mamelodi Magistrate Court?
Okay, so during lockdown, you remember like people were restricted from traveling from province to provinces.
Yes.
The same night lockdown started, I actually went to Limpopo, and I actually had quite good money in my pocket. I think I had like 100K.
Okay.
During lockdown. So the whole of lockdown, I was cool. I wasn't broke when I was home. Started a poultry farm
at home.
Yeah, that thing went successful. I mean, I ran it for 3-4 months. It was successful. First week of producing the chickens, we got sold out within 3 days or so. So I ran a poultry farm, and then a friend of mine called me. He's like, "Hey, they're looking for magistrate in Pretoria. Aren't you interested?"
I want your friends to be my friends.
Yeah, I was like,
at this point.
I was like, magistrate, nah, man. Like, yeah, please send your CV, Then I just sent my CV. It's like, but you didn't send your letter of good standing from the LPC. Okay. So I delayed. Then they called me for an interview. Then I went, that was in 2020. Then I went around about December for an interview. And I interviewed, and 2 days later, I got a call, and it's like, congratulations, you got a job. I'm like, wait.
I was just there for 5 minutes.
No, but what? No, I had to think, congratulations, I got a job. I'm going to be a magistrate. It felt, what? Am I dreaming? Yeah, like, am I... my first day, I started on the 18th of January 2021, right? Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe that I'm a magistrate.
You're presiding over matters.
Same day I had to go to court and make an order, and I had to sign. So I used to take pictures of my handwriting, like my signature, all the time when I sign, because it's that beautiful. I'm like, what? Am I a magistrate? And then the next thing, I got interviewed on newspapers, like, hey, what's happening? And I started getting used to that idea that I'm a magistrate. Like, my first salary was so interesting. It's like good monies, oh, okay. Oh, not bad. And wearing that red gown, and it was really interesting.
The responsibility must be very huge, though.
It was huge. It was huge because I think I started with I used to be in the domestic court, like your protection order, domestic violence, harassment court. That way I used to be a lot, and and me being passionate about relationships, I love relationships a lot, and seeing couples fighting, and I have to be at the center of everything, hearing evidence, there are kids that are suffering. I need to make court orders.
You need to be very objective.
Yeah, sometimes I need to, issue warrant of arrest for people. Sometimes I need to detain somebody for not following it. It was hectic. So
contempt of court.
Yeah, contempt of court. So responsibility kept on growing.
And this was not okay. I can tell that it was emotionally taxing.
I was shocked at how people were used to fight, especially when I was in the domestic violence court. That's why I saw that couples fought. I mean, we had issues of maintenance, kids, for example. Someone is being restricted to see the kids. I had to step in there, and sometimes, you don't have to you don't have to be magistrate all the time. Sometimes you must be kind of like a social worker a bit when you're on the bench, be human,
Yes.
Understands what people are going through a lot of times. And there were a lot of lives were changing, by the way. Young people that were in the wrong side of the law. Sometimes I would have to make an order that this person be imprisoned. And sometimes I would stand my matter down, please come to my chambers and speak to them to like, you know what?
Oh, there's that. I never knew.
It's not all about always sending people to. Sometimes there's that, once I issue an order that, you are guilty or what, you are in prison, it's going to mess up your future, So some of the kids I used to speak to, there's one I can't mention his name. There's one famous artist, by the way, who's young, and I think he's more like in Mamelodi. He's now famous now. Once appeared in front of me, was in the wrong side of the law, and the mother says, Magistrate, there's nothing I want. I just send him to prison. You know, he da 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 da. And I had to like, no, come to my chambers. And we sat down, we talked. That guy became my mentee from thereafter. Every week he used to come greet me and stuff like that. So there's that giving back to the community a little bit, fine above applying the law. You understand? I mean, the law is about regulating people's behavior.
Yeah,
So
true.
you'd always want to encourage people to re-look at their behavior. Then later I went to the criminal court. That was serious now. Robberies, people were robbed, people are looking for bail, people are assaulting one another. Now I need to step in now and be the magistrate now.
Make the hard decisions.
Yeah,
Send
no.
those people away.
Yeah, no.
No matter how remorseful they are.
And sometimes, sometimes you are sweet. Like I'm very, but I would at times have to change my tone, my face a bit. Yeah, so people can see to say, hey, no, we're not playing here. Some people come late to court. You must reprimand them. If court says be here 8:30, you must be here 8:30.
Must be on time.
Yeah, sometimes they have to cancel people's bail for getting late to court. So I'm canceling you. The police will bring you on time.
This would be people who are coming into the court that are out on bail. Not the people who are being brought by the
that
police.
are out on bail.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they come to court very late. It was hectic. The criminal court was hectic. So I worked both in Pretoria Central. I worked in Pretoria North. I worked in Soshanguve. Soshanguve was hectic. Then I worked in Mamelodi.
Soshanguve is card robbery state.
Yeah,
for
Soshanguve
sure.
was hectic. And then I worked in Mamelodi. And then I worked in Bronkhortspruit. Then I worked in Nkangala for a period of 2 years. It was really hectic.
But were you safe? Soshanguve.
Yeah, look, security is an issue in the judiciary, for example. It remains an issue because you would deal with serious criminals. I mean, I've had people talking about me in Texas. I would get calls like,
They're coming
hey,
for you.
we heard people were talking about you. And I'm like, what did I do? Like, really, because there are some certain cases where you really have to step in and say, no, I'm not giving you bail because you're gonna be a risk to the society,
Yes.
And I'm talking about serious offenses. Like you'd have cases that are going to be prosecuted in the regional court, but they will start in the district court.
Yes.
Meaning all the bail and all of these things will have to happen in a district court.
But you can see this person, I cannot let them out in the street. They are a danger.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine when you have the community members at times coming to boycott in court and you now have to make a decision, Sometimes they say, if we release him, we're going to kill him. And, this is a whole lot of stuff. But you have to strike the balance at the end of the day. But that was one interesting job. I really enjoyed.
Roller coaster sounds like.
Look, I think being big-headed and knowing what I want, I overgrew it, by the way. So in essence, I happen to occupy all the legal roles in law you can ever think about. So I've been a law student. Mm-hmm. I've been a candidate. I've got an LLB degree, meaning I've been a law student.
Yes.
So law student, LLB degree, candidate attorney. Then I became an attorney. Then I became a magistrate.
And then now you're like, no, I don't want the rope no more.
Yeah, now no. Let me go and become what I've always wanted to be, which was being an advocate.
This is what I'm interested most in. Tell me, from magistrate, do you now have to go and serve pupillage?
No. So the Legal Practice Act that came into force now, you can always convert. You convert. You can move from being an attorney to being an advocate with a trust account or without a trust account. Now we've got two sets of advocates. Advocates were not allowed to consult with clients before.
Yes.
So now I'm an advocate who does not consult with clients.
Yes.
Because I'm a referral advocate. So there are advocates that consult with clients who are trust account advocates. So it's more like they function like they're running a law firm basically. But those advocates do not take candidate attorneys. They can have supporting staff, but not a candidate attorney, and they cannot employ another advocate or an attorney in their practice.
Okay.
So you just work alone with your supporting staff, which is basically what I'm doing now. So now I'm just a referral advocate.
Referral advocate.
Yeah.
So when you
So I didn't have to go to the bar.
you didn't even have to write.
No.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you can become everything you want. You can start from. You've done everything, as you said.
Yeah, look, I mean, 10 years of experience in the legal profession so far, and me having to go to the... Maybe I'll go, but there's no need for me. I mean, what is it that I haven't done? I think
You've done almost everything.
Yeah, I've done... Yeah, I've appeared in high courts so many times. I've got reported judgments, Northern Cape High Court.
You've traveled the country.
There's nothing really I haven't done.
So now you are a referral advocate, right? So when people look for you, because I tried to look for you, I couldn't find you online. What do they type? Okay, all right. It's attorneys. Obviously, you'll be known or be found by attorneys who will be giving you an instruction, right? But then, where are your chambers?
Okay, so my chambers are in Midrand.
Okay, Midrand.
Yeah, Midrand. So I started practicing in Midrand last year in October. So that's where my chambers are. And then I stay in Pretoria. And then, so the journey has been so interesting. Actually, I was basically recruited by a friend who says, hey, no, man, you've been here for quite a while. There's good opportunities on the other side of the fence.
Opportunities as in money, ne?
Yeah, as in money. Right. And then
that's the right one. Okay, that's good to know.
And I was like, so I jumped ship. Then after jumping ship, goodness, 3 days later I got my first brief. Like government briefs. And look, people have been making money. And before you and I came here, I told you about the notion that it's out there that law no longer has money. 1, 2, that there is no longer future in law. It's not true.
We think connection. We need connection. We need to have a grandfather who is being whatever. We need a brother, and we don't have those things.
It's actually not true. I think there's a group of colleagues who are frustrated in the profession, and sorry to say for them, but with due respect, who publish such kind of information to say there's no law. Law is law. Let me leave Gauteng, and I can go back to the village, and I would still make it within a year.
That's it. It is a very, very broad qualification.
It's basically lack of information that people have and lack of mentorship that people have. I mean, now for over 10 years, there are things that I've learned by my own self that nobody taught me. To say, now I would say to somebody, look, if I had an opportunity to study law again, I would go and study law again tomorrow, because there are a lot of opportunities.
A lot of roles.
You know how many people get arrested per day in a local police station in township for doing nothing every day? And do you know how many kids will fall on the pit almost every day in communities?
Yeah, you see a lot of those things online.
No. The thing is, when we are at the law school, we all think about this corporate, Santin, Randberg. No. With due respect of whatever they are doing there, which is more like corporate, law, it's basically what you find in the street. Real law is what you find in the street. Real law, it's a person saying, I was married to this person, and I woke up one morning, this person assaulted my house, and then what do? A member of the community.
That's happening in the township. That's happening in the homes, in the street with the people. That's very true. Those are the issues that happen.
Yeah, so there's serious issues. Oh, okay, I've got a child, and the Home Affairs doesn't want to give my child a birth certificate. You know, those real issues. So you in the communities, law is about helping community members, by the way. So there's issues that community members are looking for help. If I was to really, it's just that now being an advocate, okay, I do most of my work. Most of my briefs basically come from government now.
Okay.
I mean, from October last year, November, December, January, Feb. So it's more like 4 months that I'm now a counsel now. But if I had an opportunity, I would put up my law firm in the community.
Right there where...
Right in my community. I'll put up a big billboard saying advocate Diesel Masia.
Because that's where the real issues are.
That's where real issues are. There's money. There's money in law. There's return on investment.
I hope everybody can learn from this and not give up on their degree and feel that, no, I'm just going to be a complaints officer. There's nothing for me. No, we should just go after what we need according to what you're saying or what we dream of doing, because it can happen.
Look, I think one of the reasons why people are frustrated is there are so many legal problems in the community which you can take advantage of and make money out of it. As much as, look, we're practicing law in order to help the community, but we mustn't forget that there's always return on investment, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine writing a letter to maybe Department of Home Affairs, you're looking for something, or Department of Education, and nobody responds to you within 30 days or 60 days. And you said you're frustrated, you don't know what to do. Then you need a lawyer that wants to come into the picture that will definitely give a way through. So I'm standing here, I can put my hand on the block to say there is money in law. There's money in law. Even now, I think I intend to basically start a mentorship kind of a program a bit. I'm still thinking about it, where I can mentor candidate attorneys and basically show them
how to do
where the money is. Yeah, because a lot of us, we just went through the whole program of candidate attorneys. We were never taught how to make money.
We don't know how it's made.
No,
we don't even know what to do after.
Yeah, we were never taught how to make money. You were just taught to go through that whole 2 years, to go through that 1 year. When you are done, nobody retains you in the firm, for example.
Yes.
And you are now on your own. You're gonna go and look for a job.
Okay.
And how much are you gonna earn, for example?
I'm going to earn that 25,000 for an honest degree. You know, when I got to the last part, or now that I've gotten to the last part of the degree, the last 5.
Yeah.
3. Oh, sorry, 3. I think every time I talk to somebody, or even in my house, they need to feel that this is an honest degree, because hi.
It's hectic, right?
It's very, very, very hectic.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that there are ways to do. You can even, as everybody has heard, you can even open a law firm without having to rent a place. And a law firm doesn't necessarily mean, or working in your legal firm doesn't necessarily mean that you need to now be working in the big offices in Sandton. You can help unlawful
arrest and detention.
Unlawful arrest in the communities. You can help with all the small problems that people have in the community. Like he was saying, talking about a letter that is written and stamped, sent by a lawyer, and a normal person is not the same.
Yeah, it's basically
not the same. It does not have the same effect. Yeah. So I'm so glad that I got to sit with you, but I know that I'm going to sit with you more than one time. Yeah. What I want to find out now is, you do not serve pupillage. When is your company or your chambers eligible to take in a pupillage student?
Okay, so so you see, we've got various bars, right? We've got Pretoria Bar, we've got Joburg Bar, we've got Polokwane Bar, we've got Pan African Bar. These are just independent bars who are offering pupillages.
Okay.
Now, according to the Legal Practice Act, you cannot be admitted as an advocate if you completed your LLB degree after 2018. You cannot be admitted as an advocate until you have done pupillages.
Yeah.
So for us who obtain our our degree before, you can still be admitted. Number one, I think the changes has not been made. You can still be admitted. For one who is an attorney already, you can make a conversion to become an advocate, and an advocate can make a conversion to become an attorney.
Okay, so
yeah. So meaning, if one has to do pupillages, you need to go to the recognized bar just to equip yourself, but it's no longer a requirement if you're already an attorney and you converted into becoming an advocate.
I think we missed each other there.
Yeah.
What I was asking is, when is Advocate Masia's chambers taking in? Are you able to take in a student and to do pupillage under you?
No. I'm not able to do that.
How long does it take before an advocate can do that?
There's an accredited institution that offers pupillages, which is your Joburg Bar, which is your Pretoria Bar, which is your Polokwane Bar, and any other bar in the country. So there are those institutionalized institutions that will take people that are coming from coming from university who have passed their LLB degree, but you need to apply to say you want to do pupillages.
You want to be an advocate. You want to do your pupillage.
Okay. Or else after your LLB degree, if you want to be an attorney, then you can go look for articles or go to the law school, and then you would be admitted for articles.
Can I please ask you if advocates go to lower courts?
We do, and we do go to lower courts. Though it's not traditionally our play area in the lower courts. It's full of attorneys there a lot. Cause I mean, how much are you gonna charge to go to a lower court? Advocates charge between 18,000 to 40,000 a day fee of going to court. Yeah, I mean, junior would still charge at 18, right?
That's a junior a day.
Yeah, that's junior. Look, I think 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm eligible to charge 25 a day now. You know.
So the more you grow, the more you can charge.
once you 10 years in the field, there's so much money you can charge. You will do 1,800 rand per hour, then it means your day fee is 18,000 rand, or you'll do 2,500 rand an hour, and then your day fee will be 25, or you'll do 1.6, and then your day fee will be 16,000 rand. So yeah, the tariffs, the High Court tariffs provides for that. So yeah.
So there is really, as you said, there is really money in the industry. People must not shy away. They must just work hard.
People must not shy away, number one. People must not forget to network and ask information.
And make the kind of friends you have. Because the kind of friends you have are the ones we all deserve.
Yeah. I mean, you would, if you don't network, you will die of hunger, for example. You know. So people like us are willing to give out information out there. And but at the end of the day, someone must look for that information. Some of us are willing to give it out. But one thing I'll tell you, there is a future in law. There's so much of a future in law.
I really hope that when people are looking for, when they're looking for this information on getting articles, what steps to do, this channel, you'll be here with us throughout to help us and teach us what happened, what is to seed, what happens when you leave a firm and all those things. We're still gonna unpack all those things. But today I just wanted people to know who my mentor is, who has been saying you can't give up, who has been saying, okay, you've dropped out, go back. Okay, do you now have money to go back? And that is the great advocate Diesel Masia. He has been with me throughout the journey, and he still holds my hand to this day, to the last day. So now you're saying you're getting briefs from lawyers, you're doing whatever. I just want us to deviate from here. There was a case that I saw, as you said, that the problems are in the community. A case, I think it backdated to 1990, about Mr. Bupape and his side chick. You know, people know the story that says, if I'm married in community of property, the side chick and the baby mama can come claim from my estate. But they don't know the story. I also didn't know much. I didn't invest much in matrimonial property, right? Yeah. But then when I read that case, I found it very interesting that actually you can get money from the side chick back, the money that your husband was giving somebody else. I did not know that until I read that. Is that a case that was heard? I don't remember where it was heard. It was heard in a lower. It's a divorce, a higher court.
Yeah, it must be a higher court. Yeah, it must be a court.
That was heard in a higher court. My question is: should the side chick, Miss Moloto, not pay the money?
Yeah.
Because remember, this man was my boyfriend. He was sending me e-wallet, giving me money for bouquets. He gave me money to even some of us, some of the side chicks or us as women. We even built houses with this married man. If now Mrs. Bupape comes and say, no, I did not consent, so I want everything back like she did. And I don't have the money. Remember, we built the house, I ate the money and whatever. And remember, whatever that you are going to do as a legal practitioner, you're going to charge with interest. Right? If I don't have the money, what's going to happen? Because people have asked me this question. I've tried to answer, but I just want to hear from you. If Miss Moloto does not have this money to pay back, there's no arrangement, there's nothing, does not have the money. After selling the house that was built for her, the other money will still need to be recovered. What's going to happen to her?
All right. I think I would like to read that case law. But generally what will happen is the fact that a person doesn't have money doesn't mean you cannot claim back from the person.
Okay.
No. Can always issue summons. Can always get a court order. A person will not be broke for life. You keep a court order. Court order remains binding for you for life.
So you wait until they can pay. Not like
wait until a person makes money, a person gets a job, and you will pursue them. So yeah.
Okay. So she can. I think everybody has heard it now. That's what could have happened, or that's what would happen if the person was unable to pay the money.
So you get a court order and keep your court order, and wait. Maybe one day a person will get lotto. Maybe one day a person will get employment, and you will search for them and you will find them. Then you will recover your money.
So there's no point where they'll get arrested for not paying you back.
Nah, not paying money. We no longer arrest people in the country. The laws doesn't allow anymore. If you owe money to a person, they must issue summons against you. They must attach your stuff that you have at home, your movables. If you no longer have them, they will go for your immovables, which is your house, and yeah.
All this for cheating.
Yeah, or they'll blacklist you and stuff like that. So yeah.
Anyway, guys, it has been a great conversation with the great advocate Diesel Masia. If you want to find him, look for him. Search for Shongi Michael. You'll find him on Facebook. He's very active. If you want to brief him, you'll find him very quickly. Active any day. You send him a message anytime. You're going to find him. He's going to reply. And he's going to attend to you. He's a man who loves God so much. You will see a lot of God on his page. And he will be, he's my mentor. So he is going to be in this channel. We're going to have a lot of talks with him about so many other things we're going to unpack today. I was just giving an overall. It has been so exciting sitting with him. I learned things that I didn't know. I didn't know he was a farm boy. I did not know that you were a farm boy. And now I know that he was a farm boy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next episode of Legal Podcast SA. But before I go, let me just ask him to give us a word of advice. It is my final year. I'm a farm girl. Never been to Joburg. What do you think I must do in this life of social media? What is the one thing that we must do?
Look, I think as a I'm sure you would like to be a candidate attorney. So, start looking out for law firms where they are. It's still early now. Can always go and ask, can I come and volunteer? Maybe when the schools are closed. I did the same thing with your Mahoa attorneys in Tanini.
Okay.
I used to, so just do that. Attorneys would be willing to say, can I please come and volunteer? And they'll take you through. They'll always take you through. So that's how you build networks and talk to colleagues. Social media as well. We've got a I think there's a lawyers group. I'm not sure if you're part of that on social media, on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah, there's a lawyers rule. There's a group called Lawyers Rule.
I'll look it up. I'll link it here on this video.
So you must check it out if you're a candidate attorney. We exchange a lot of legal wisdoms there, case laws and information about articles. But yeah.
What's the name of that?
It's Lawyers Rule.
Lawyers Rule.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it from the advocate himself. I will see you guys in the next episode of Legal Podcast SA. I love you guys. Thank you. Mwah.